Have you ever been curious about a world so different it feels untouched by time? A life without selfies, makeup, or even buttons. A place where dating is closely supervised, weddings are modest, and wearing a white dress is unheard of. This is the reality for Amish women, part of one of America's most secretive communities. If you're intrigued by a lifestyle that rejects nearly all modern conveniences, then stay with us as we explore 20 fascinating rules that shape the lives of Amish women. It might just change how you think about freedom. Have you ever wondered why Amish clothing looks so different, almost as if time has stopped? Their simple, modest attire contrasts sharply with today's world of ever-changing fashion trends. Take buttons, for example. While most of us see them as a basic feature, Amish women don't use them at all. Instead, they fasten their garments with hooks, eyes, or even straight pins. But why this choice? For the Amish, buttons represent more than utility. They symbolize pride and adornment. By avoiding them, they uphold values of humility and resist the temptation of vanity. But there's more to it than modesty. This simplicity is practical too. Ties and hooks make it easier to repair or replace clothing, a necessity for families living with limited resources. Every detail is thoughtfully chosen to reflect the Amish commitment to durability and functionality. If something as small as a button can reveal so much about Amish values, what can we learn from other everyday items that often go unnoticed? Take the bonnet, for example, called the mwetrum in Amish tradition. To most, it's just a simple piece of fabric, but for Amish women, it carries deep meaning. Made from plain, unadorned material, the bonnet is a profound symbol of humility and faith. Its purpose is to draw attention away from outward appearance, and instead emphasize inner qualities, reflecting the Amish belief in modesty and respect. According to their faith, a woman's hair is considered her crowning glory, a sacred symbol of beauty and strength. By covering it, Amish women honor this biblical principle, showing devotion through their modesty. But the bonnet also communicates more than faith. Its style, color, and how it's tied convey subtle messages about an Amish woman's life. Marital status, age, and even religious affiliation can all be expressed through these details. A white bonnet might signify adherence to a specific religious practice, while a unique tying style might indicate social role or age. Beyond symbolism, bonnets serve a practical purpose as well. They protect women from the elements, shielding them from sun, wind, and rain as they tend to do outdoor work. In a life devoted to simplicity and resilience, the bonnet balances practicality with deeply held values. So, do you think symbols like bonnets and buttons have the power to preserve a culture's values in a constantly changing world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. While white weddings are a common tradition today, Amish bridal customs follow a very different path. In Amish communities, white is seen as a symbol of vanity and pride, and it's intentionally avoided. Instead, brides wear shades of blue or indigo, colors rich in meaning. To the Amish, blue represents purity, faithfulness, and a spiritual connection to heaven. These colors perfectly reflect their values of humility and modesty, creating a wedding tradition rooted in deeper symbolism. Amish wedding dresses are always handmade, often by the brides themselves. These simple ankle-length gowns, free of decoration, reflect the community's emphasis on practicality and self-reliance. And these dresses aren't just for the wedding day. Amish women continue to wear their wedding gown to church and other important events throughout their lives. Some even choose to be buried in their gown, a final testament to their lifelong dedication to faith, family, and community. Now, imagine dating without privacy, under strict family supervision. Could you handle it? The Amish sustained this practice for years, but how does it actually work? Before we dive into that, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There's so much more we can't wait to share with you. In Amish communities, dating and courtship are carefully guided to ensure relationships develop with modesty and intention. Instead of private dates, young Amish couples participate in group activities, often at church functions or community events, under the watchful eye of family and friends. Courtships in the Amish world are never rushed. They can last for months or even years, allowing couples the time to deeply consider their compatibility and readiness for marriage. When the decision to marry is made, the wedding is a humble affair. There are no extravagant decorations or lavish displays, just family, friends, and the community coming together to celebrate a union built on shared values and commitment, not material wealth. In the Amish community, weddings are major events held on Tuesdays or Thursdays, with the entire community gathering to celebrate the union. But what happens after the ceremony might surprise you. There's no honeymoon trip or private getaway. Instead, Amish couples enter a tradition called broadside or bride time. During this period, the couple stays with the bride's family or close relatives, sharing their home for several nights or even weeks. Rather than relaxing, newlyweds immediately dive into family life, helping with cooking, cleaning, and other daily tasks. From the very start, they experience what it takes to run a household together, embracing shared responsibilities and learning how to support one another as a team. Why is this so important in Amish culture? For the Amish, marriage isn't just a personal bond, it's a commitment to family and the larger community. By spending this time with their in-laws, the couple strengthens family ties, reinforcing the idea that their marriage is part of something much bigger than themselves. Could you imagine skipping a private honeymoon to begin your marriage in a family home? Would this tradition bring a couple closer together, or might it feel overwhelming? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. For Amish women, marriage comes with responsibilities shaped by biblical teachings and traditions passed down through generations. At the heart of these beliefs is the idea that the husband is the head of the household. This role makes him the primary decision-maker, while the wife supports and follows his guidance. From an early age, Amish girls are taught that their lives will revolve around family care, cooking, cleaning, sewing, and raising children. Even major decisions, such as financial matters or household rules, typically rest with the husband, establishing a clear family structure. An intriguing part of Amish courtship is a practice known as the bundling ritual. For unmarried couples, bundling involves spending the night together while fully clothed and separated by a wooden board. This tradition allows couples to form an emotional connection within strict boundaries, preparing them for their roles in marriage even before the wedding day. To the Amish, this hierarchy is more than just tradition. It serves a purpose. They believe that submission reduces conflict and allows women to focus on their families and household responsibilities. Amish women don't wear makeup or use cosmetics, but this choice goes far beyond personal preference. To the Amish, true beauty comes from within. It's seen as a reflection of one's character, humility, and devotion to God. Using makeup is viewed as altering or masking the natural beauty that God has provided. Costly jewelry, makeup, or other forms of adornment are considered unnecessary luxuries. These items don't align with the Amish way of life, which emphasizes modesty and the importance of resisting the temptations of modern society. Instead, Amish women focus their time and energy on family, hard work, and community, qualities they believe define real beauty. But simplicity doesn't mean sameness. Amish women still showcase individuality through their traditional clothing and hairstyles. Each Amish group follows unique rules about dress and grooming, adding subtle diversity within their shared commitment to modesty. Through these distinctions, Amish women proudly represent their heritage and identity, standing out without the need for makeup or jewelry. In the Amish community, every role has a purpose, and each person's place reflects deeply held beliefs about faith and tradition. Although Amish women are highly respected, they do not hold formal leadership roles within the church, such as bishops, preachers, or deacons. This exclusion stems from the belief that God has chosen men to lead spiritually, upholding the patriarchal structure that shapes much of Amish life. However, the roles of Amish women are anything but secondary. They hold significant influence within their families, often making key decisions about daily life, managing the household, and serving as caregivers and spiritual mentors to their children. Their contributions are vital to maintaining the strength and stability of the Amish way of life. Interestingly, these roles can vary among different Amish communities. Some groups strictly follow traditional roles, while others offer women more involvement in family and community decisions. This variation shows a subtle evolution within Amish society as each group navigates its own balance between long-standing customs and modern influences. In the Amish community, rules are more than just guidelines. They are the foundation of identity, stability, and faith. When someone, especially a woman, breaks these rules, the consequences extend far beyond a simple reprimand. They may face a serious form of separation that is hard to imagine in modern life: excommunication. For the Amish, this isn't merely a punishment but a declaration that the individual has broken the trust and unity essential to the community. What happens when an Amish person defies the deeply held religious principles that govern everything from worship to daily routines, or if they openly challenge community norms? Such actions are viewed as betrayals, threatening the harmony the Amish rely on. For a woman, the consequences of excommunication are especially severe. It's not just a ban from church services, but a total disconnection from the social fabric of her life. Even her closest family members may be instructed to limit contact, creating a powerful reminder of the cost of individual choice over communal unity. To outsiders, these consequences may seem extreme, but for Amish women, the values of the community often outweigh personal preferences. Living under these rules shapes every part of their identity, influencing everything from daily chores to conflict resolution. It's a constant commitment to shared life, a quiet reminder that the strength of their community depends on unity, faith, and mutual responsibility. In Amish communities, education is simple and brief, reflecting their way of life. Amish children attend one-room schoolhouses where they learn the basics: reading, writing, and arithmetic, until they complete the 8th grade. For the Amish, schooling is not about personal ambition, but about equipping children with the skills necessary for their unique lifestyle. After this stage, boys and girls follow separate paths, shaped by traditional gender roles. For boys, this means transitioning to apprenticeships and learning practical skills such as farming or trades to support their families in the community. For girls, the focus shifts to the home, where they are taught essential skills like cooking, sewing, and childcare. These lessons prepare them for a life dedicated to family and community responsibilities. Despite limited formal education, Amish women can become teachers in these one-room schoolhouses, often teaching until they marry. After marriage, their focus typically shifts to family life. Household duties take center stage, and for most Amish women, raising a family becomes their primary role. Amish families place great importance on family life, often having 5 or more children as an expression of their faith and belief that family size is guided by God's plan. One of the most unique aspects of Amish life is their approach to education, which is intentionally simple and aligned with their values. Amish students focus on reading, writing, arithmetic, and practical skills that prepare them for life within the community. However, certain subjects, particularly those related to personal development, physical changes, and life stages, are left out entirely. So, how do Amish teens learn about these important parts of growing up? In Amish culture, this knowledge is passed on informally. Teens learn through observing the world around them, such as the cycles of life on family farms, or stories shared within the community. Biological concepts and family roles are introduced gradually through real-life experiences, with a deeper understanding often coming later, particularly within the context of marriage and family life. For Amish girls, this approach shapes how they view their future roles as mothers and wives, emphasizing the needs of the community over individual goals. As they transition into adulthood, Amish youth enter a world where their understanding of life is rooted in tradition and observation, rather than formal classroom instruction. In Amish beliefs, rooted in biblical teachings, a woman's long hair is considered her glory, symbolizing her dedication to God and her family. Cutting one's hair is seen as a violation of God's will and a rejection of the community's deeply held values. For most Amish women, the idea of cutting their hair is simply unthinkable. Hair is regarded as a sacred gift from God, meant to be kept in its natural state. Amish women avoid dyes, perms, or any treatments that alter its appearance. Instead, they keep their hair long and style it in a simple bun or braid at the nape of the neck, a choice that is both practical and modest. Whenever they are in public, their hair is always covered with a white cap or bonnet, a symbol of humility and their commitment to faith. The Amish community is known for its strict restrictions on technology, particularly anything electrical or electronic. This isn't just a matter of preference, it's a deliberate decision rooted in the belief that technology can pull people away from faith, family, and community. By avoiding modern devices, the Amish resist materialism and the constant distractions of online entertainment, which they view as barriers to living a meaningful and focused life. For the Amish, true value lies in spending quality time with family, nurturing their spiritual lives, and fostering strong community connections. Social media, the internet, and even television are seen as threats to these priorities, disrupting their simple and grounded way of life. However, there are some exceptions. Amish communities may permit limited use of machinery, especially when it supports essential work like farming or craftsmanship. For example, gas-powered engines might be used for tasks such as milking cows or sawing wood, but always under strict conditions to prevent over-reliance. Additionally, necessary medical devices are allowed when essential for health and well-being. One of the most striking contrasts between Amish life and the modern world is their decision to live without electricity. This choice isn't just about practicality. It's rooted in a belief that electricity represents a luxury that contradicts their core values of simplicity and self-reliance. Without electric power, Amish homes are free of modern conveniences like radios, televisions, and computers, even electric lights. Instead, they rely on lanterns, oil lamps, and candles to illuminate their homes, creating a warm and peaceful atmosphere after dark. Cooking is done on wood stoves, and travel is by horse-drawn carriages, which not only limit mobility but also strengthen community connections. There are exceptions to this rule, particularly in agriculture. Some Amish families use gas or diesel generators for essential tasks, like running milking machines or refrigeration units needed to preserve food. Additionally, certain Amish-owned businesses may use limited electricity for production machinery or store lighting, but these allowances are strictly controlled to prevent overdependence. Amish women often choose to give birth at home, viewing it as a deeply personal and spiritual experience that strengthens community bonds. Home births allow them to avoid the impersonal atmosphere of a hospital, opting instead for the comfort and privacy of their own homes. With the help of a midwife, usually a trusted and experienced member of the community, Amish women rely on their inner resilience and the steady support of family. Pain medication is rarely used, as they embrace a natural approach to childbirth. Around 90% of Amish births take place at home, creating a calm environment centered on faith, family, and togetherness. For the Amish, having children at home is more than just a tradition. It's a reflection of their commitment to simplicity, family values, and their close-knit way of life. In Amish communities, children's toys are simple and handmade, reflecting the values of their lifestyle. Instead of brightly colored, mass-produced items, Amish children play with rustic creations such as miniature horse-drawn carts, dolls dressed in traditional Amish clothing, and replicas of farm produce. These toys mirror the agricultural and community-centered way of life that defines the Amish world. One unique aspect of Amish toys is that they are faceless. This isn't just a design choice, it's intentional. Faceless toys teach children that outward appearance is unimportant in the eyes of God. This reinforces the Amish belief that self-worth is rooted in inner qualities rather than physical attributes. Instead of photos or social media, Amish families preserve their history and traditions through storytelling and shared memories, emphasizing connection and heritage. In a world dominated by selfies and social media, imagine choosing to live without a single photograph of yourself. How? For the Amish, photos are more than just images. They represent values that conflict with their beliefs in humility and modesty. Both Amish men and women avoid being photographed because posing for a picture is seen as an act of pride, emphasizing personal image over the values of simplicity and community. This practice helps shift the focus away from individual identity and toward faith and togetherness. However, there are exceptions. Some Amish allow candid photos, especially if faces are less recognizable, such as during farm work or community events. These types of photos are appreciated because they capture genuine moments without drawing attention to a specific individual. The concern isn't about photographs themselves, but the act of posing, which feels at odds with their principles. As a result, Amish women rarely have traditional photo albums to preserve memories. Instead, they rely on storytelling and shared experiences, passing down family history through words rather than images. Rumspringa, which translates to running around in Pennsylvania Dutch, is one of the most fascinating Amish traditions. During this period, Amish teenagers are given the freedom to explore life beyond the strict rules of their community. They can wear non-traditional clothing, use modern technology, and even engage in activities typically forbidden in Amish culture. But Rumspringa isn't just about rebellion. It's a journey of self-discovery. It allows each individual to decide whether they want to fully commit to the Amish way of life or pursue a different path. There are no fixed rules or time limits, making the experience deeply personal and unique to every participant. The results vary, but about 90% of Amish teens ultimately choose to return to their communities, recommitting to their faith and traditions. For the remaining 10%, Rumspringa marks the beginning of a life beyond the Amish world. Take Kate Stoltz, for instance. She used her Rumspringa to explore modern life and eventually became a model and designer in New York after appearing on the show Breaking Amish. In Amish communities, women play a crucial role in supporting their families financially, often through crafting, farming, or managing small businesses. What's unique, however, is that the income they earn is considered entirely their own, separate from the household's shared finances. This is an interesting contrast in a culture where men are traditionally seen as the primary providers. Why does this tradition exist? It's deeply rooted in religious beliefs and cultural practices that emphasize simplicity and respect. By keeping their earnings separate, the Amish uphold the male role as the breadwinner while giving women a sense of financial independence. This arrangement allows Amish women to make personal financial decisions while maintaining harmony within the household's overall structure. Even during challenging times, when a husband's income might fall short, the wife's earnings can help sustain the family, but they still remain hers. This financial setup reflects the delicate balance of independence and shared responsibility that defines Amish life. For the Amish, livestock farming is more than a way to earn a living. It's a cornerstone of their values, emphasizing self-reliance, teamwork, and strong community bonds. One tradition that highlights these values is the iconic Amish barn raising, a remarkable demonstration of unity and cooperation. When a family needs a new barn, the entire community gathers to complete the structure in just one day. Everyone plays a part. Some lift heavy beams, others assemble the frame, and a few secure the roof. Using traditional tools and their collective skills, they construct the barn entirely by hand. But barn raising is about more than building. It's a celebration of community. When the hard work is done, everyone sits down to share a meal. It's a time to relax, exchange stories, and reflect on their achievement. This meal is more than just food. It's a moment of connection, honoring the collective effort and pride of the day. As we wrap up our exploration of these unique Amish traditions, it's clear that every rule and custom is rooted in faith, resilience, and a commitment to community. For Amish women, these practices offer meaningful ways to contribute, balancing the expectations of their culture with their own strength and skills. While these traditions may seem unusual to outsiders, they form the foundation of a culture that has thrived for centuries. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.